Let me clean up my work area for a second before we start. Potential collapse detected. No, there's no collapses right now. There's no collapses being detected right now. Come on. I don't know how much more Blackout I'm going to play. I'm annoyed by all the things that are wrong about the game. I don't know. Man. I'm a little worried about the sun. I have a big sunshade here, but the sun is still hitting me through the sunshade. Okay, let's talk about what we're doing. Oh, I gotta update the game. Oh, I've gotta check in some stuff that I did last night on my laptop. Boy, let's do that. Let's be working on the most recent version of the game. How's that for an idea? Okay. What are the things that I'm annoyed about? It's just the game is too fast, so that any actual combat situation is all about running around like a crazy chicken, and it sort of negates all the strategy and planning that you could otherwise have in the game, you know? Because the actual combat part is so nonsensical and goofy. And the only reason that happens is because they built this on another game, right? And in the other game, it's, you know, the game mode is just all about running around at maximum speed and getting killed a zillion times a minute. And so it's just, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you know, when it just doesn't feel good to have combat in the game. It feels aggravating. So even when I win, I've had a fair amount of success in that game, and it just feels aggravating, and I don't want to play it. Laptop is tolerable enough to actually code on? Not super much, actually. Unfortunately. But I'm sort of living with it. Can I recap the different abilities of the various characters? No. I mean, the thing is, I'm not trying to do too many gameplay spoilers. The gameplay spoilers that happen are all just as a result of me doing other work. Oh man, this is still happening? What? I thought that was fixed. Wait, did I not update? completely? No, I did. All right. Well, maybe I'll look into that later if I get too annoyed by it. This is one of those things where, whoa. Wait, what? What is going on? Oh, never mind. I was running an old executable. Sorry, I spaced. Because I was like, oh my god, everything's broken. It's because I thought I had made a release build, but I didn't. I made a debug build, and I was running the release build. Don't do that. Don't make a debug build and then run the release build. It's a great way to confuse yourself. Okay. There we go. So what I've been doing is starting to organize the levels of the game into these like level selection screens, which will eventually look nicer, you know, but they're just ways of laying out what there is that you can do. The overworld is also, right now it has these little circular level entries, but eventually it's going to have those thingers. In fact, what we could do right now is at least start doing a little bit of a thing. So I originally had like, oh, let's block you out of these with a gate or something, but I think we're gonna have these activate each other in this kind of a way, right? So like one opens the next one, opens the next one as you solve these. Okay. Is this for my drafts over here? Yeah, let's delete that. Okay, so, you know, what's going to happen is one of these will be active, and then let's get rid of this for now. It's just modeling things. Doesn't do anything yet. So right now, the type of entities that these are is the same as the exit type on all these levels, where you stand on it and it lights up and you go to the next one, right? And we want to make a different type of a thing. So the reason that this looks similar to the reason this looks a little bit similar to this is a square and the other one's a circle. Visuals are not final, they're going to be worked on, is that these are kind of like that sort of level advancement pad, except that you manually activate these. So like I would walk onto one of these and it would light up and tell me something about the level, and then I would hit the activation button, right? Something like that. So we want to make that happen, first of all. I mean, so these things right now are a new entity type that I made. It's just called level entry, but it literally doesn't do anything. It's just a mesh that you can see. It doesn't even have the realizing that a player is standing on it like the other pads do. So we want to put all that stuff in there. And I'm going to start just by duplicating the code from door, which is, I guess, what those other things are called. So it's going to start out by being just a copy-paste job, but The reason I made these a separate entity rather than just being a special kind of door is that they're going to be a lot more complicated, and I didn't want to mess with door. So that's sort of what we're going to be doing, right? The first goal is going to be able to walk on these and have them light up. And to even have that make sense, there's going to be a few things. So like these door entities, that one goes away too fast, but like, whoops. If you look at this one, like it's green, but then it goes to like a yellowish, and then, you know, well, this one's purple, and then if I mean, you'll just be able to see the corner of it, but, well, you can't really see that at all. But basically, they have different color settings on them, okay. So these will probably go to like white, or these just go to a brighter cyan, I guess. Anyway, if you look at these, they have a color for when they're inactive and a color for when they're active, which means like someone's standing on it, right? So we at least want this. We want to add these two colors, but then we also want to have a color for when they're complete as well. And then we want to be able to have them be disabled, go between disabled and enabled when they're turned on by other things. That'll happen eventually. So the first step, are there any questions? I'm kind of rambling. This hasn't been a very good introduction. Are there any questions about what's going on, about what the hell I'm rambling about? So I'm going to start by adding all these and color solved and oh, let's have well, we need enabled T, right, for when we're enabled T target. And we're going to say initially enabled is false. Well, do we need that, or do we just set enabled T to 1? I think we just set enabled T to 1. We'll try that. Or enable T target to 1. Will level entries be on a large single map, or there'll be multiple stages? Well, that one level that I showed you that I was walking around, this one, this is going to be one of many like sub areas that are all accessible from this one. And the reason is just there's going to be like 500 levels in this game, all right? And so if we do it like Stephen's sausage roll, well, Stephen's sausage roll is even more pathological, where the geometry for every level is on the overworld. If we do 500 levels all on the main thing, it's just going to be too much to chunk in your brain, I think, right? So what we're trying to do is make nice little sub areas. And if I go to this sub area and I finish the whole thing, I can feel accomplished about that, right? Something cool will happen, and it'll be designated, it'll be marked that I've completed that area. And it won't feel too overwhelming because, you know, on the overworld, let's say there's like, I don't even know. Let's say there's 15 to 20 areas, which seems like a lot. Let's even say 25, but a lot of them are hidden to start, so I only even see 15, right? That number's, let's say I only see about 20 if I explore all the obvious things, but there's another 10 to 20 hidden. Let's say that. So there's 30 to 40 sub areas, and then the sub areas are all solvable as units, right? So it just helps you manage your sense of progress, and it helps you organize in your head where everything is, right? Rather than just having like 500 frickin' things. That's the plan. Now I'm not completely convinced that it's exactly the right plan, but we're doing it so that we at least get closer. And if this doesn't work in some way, we will observe the way in which it is not ideal, and then we'll modify the plans. You say what the @ feature is? There's YouTube videos about that. It's notes that you can put on that your meta program can read. There's several videos about that feature. Is the game going to be nonlinear? Yes. Okay. Anyway, so I'm just adding some stuff. And yeah, I'm just going to start copying door code. Oh, dude, we have this whole, okay. I need to make a to-do list because we have special code just for the overworld that we don't exactly need anymore. That's why I like instantly teleported off that world instead of it being like the other ones. This is going to get removed, and it's going to get turned into the general mechanism for these things. Okay. Check for overworld. It's always exciting to get rid of really old code like that doesn't make sense anymore. Transition. It's from back when we were originally bootstrapping the game. Okay. So we're not going to do that yet. So check for victory. Oh. This whole thing. Yeah. Let's just remove that, and we'll comment out check for overworld transition right now. Okay. So check for victory looks for doors. Let's say update, we'll make a thing called update level entries. So check for victory, in addition to determining whether you won the level, it controls this glowing aspect of the doors, right? And so and controlling animations on characters and all that stuff. Shoot. We're going to need to... Okay. So the problem here is we're going into special animations if you're on an exit, right? You could, in principle, walk from a level entry onto a door and you won't be animating, except I don't think we will ever. Okay, I'm just going to write the comment. Could walk off a door onto a level entry and the animation would fail to trigger because consider level entries first. Oh, shoot. Yeah, no, we have to do this. We have to do this both ways. Okay. Update doors and level entries. No, you know what? It's okay. Forget it. It's just all in check for victory. Get rid of that comment. So the deal is, I was going to copy this code, into a separate thing that's like, oh, if you're on a level entry, we maybe play these animations, or if you're on a door, we maybe play these animations, and it just invites too many problems and bugginesses. So we're gonna do it all at once. So here we're going to say if okay, so we're going to separate the animation stuff from the victory stuff. So this is victory detection stuff. So if door or entry, right, so this way we could be on either type of thing, and we'll set this and do this, right? That's all. So we're just breaking out this thing, and we're going to say entry is on entry. And so this is going to be stupid from is on door. This is called entry level entry. Don't we have a find type? I swear we have a find type at. Probably put it in after I wrote the is on door. Dude, this search program is so, oh, of course, yeah, we've got it on the wrong file type. Okay, yeah. So we could say find entry, find type at. Yeah, it just greatly simplifies this, right? And in fact, that's so simple that we're not even going to bother. So one of the nice things about find type at is it's polymorphic in the return type, so it returns us the entity that we care about. So maybe later we would make these a macro. I don't know, but yeah. Oh, this is door. Door. Okay. Is on entry. Also controls the glowing state for doors and level entries. Okay, this is a little bit wrong. So there we go. That's what we want to do. So we're setting the glow target for all these things to 0 at the start. And then we're setting them to 1 down here. That's great. And then again, this looks like bad coding style because I'm copy and pasting this. But the reason I'm doing that is because these are probably going to diverge over time as we do things. Like maybe level entries will have animations instead, or because they have a lot more different states. So rather than trying to make one uber loop that overcomplicates everything, you know, it's going to be its own type. So like, you know, it'll have different speeds and at the very least and whatever. Okay, so so here we're just saying this is the rate at which we increase our glowingness if someone's standing on us, but if someone is not standing on us, the rate at which we decrease is a lot faster. In the witness engine, I think I had a version of this function that takes increase and decrease rates. Maybe I should do that because I always end up doing this. So yeah, I don't know. All right. Okay. Well, that might be enough for these to start working. Except that their colors aren't really going to be set or anything. Yeah. All right, let's stash this color down here. And then we're going to go here. Color inactive. When we have the color panel up, we don't really draw what's selected. So color inactive is going to be, well, I think the alpha controls emissive. Yeah, they're glowing. That's not really enough of a difference right now. Alpha 10. Okay, this is enough. This is enough just to get us going, right? Okay, great. So now the thing we want to do, oh, well, let's go here as well. Okay. So this is all good. Now I want to have most of these start locked. Let's actually not have all of them because I want a few that I can walk on. We're going to have the first in these be unlocked and the rest of them. Oh, right. So we have to turn on enabled on these ones. Because there we go. Okay. Okay. So now, there's probably some things that we forgot to do. Like in post undo reevaluate, we probably set, we got to do this. This is like, so if you undo back to a previous frame, we're just setting the glow to be whatever the target is so we don't animate it up. It's just, there's no reason to do that. It's distracting. And looks bad. So here, we also want our enabled T to be the enabled T target, right? And then in draw, is it in simulate? Aha. Yeah, okay. Right. So the override color is just the thing that the shader knows how to use. And so one of the things we're about to change in this loop, like I said, it's going to diverge, is we're going to have a more complicated thing here, right? So we're going to say color is lerp entry color. Where are we? What are we called? We need like a color disabled. Right, that's for when you can't even use it. Okay, so we're going to go from the color disabled to inactive dot enabled T. All right, so we're going to do that, and then we're going to go from whatever that color is to the color active based on the glow T. And then we're going to go from whatever that color is to the solved color by solved T, which is not even something that we have yet. And then we're going to say entry.override color equals color. So we're just doing a bunch of blends here, right? Okay. Let's get rid of this. So we want to force use override color all the time. Okay. So we need glow T. Okay, we need enabled T. And we need solve T. So these T parameters, whoops, they're just things that vary over time, you know. And I'm going to we're going to do this pretty soon. So we make a more terse version of move toward where we don't actually, you know what? Let's do it right now. Let's do it right now so that we don't have to paste all this spam. So, you know, right now I'm computing a rate and I'm just passing it to move toward, but we could just put the rates down here. We could say the first rate is the rate if we're going up and the second rate is the rate if we're going down. And then we just say dt times O.3, right, and dt times 2.1, right? And we can get rid of all this, and we can even, right now, enabled, it's probably the same rates, and then solved is probably a lot slower. So like dt times O.05, dt, well, solved never goes down. You never unsolve a level, so this parameter is going to be meaningless, but whatever. And I don't think we have that version of move toward. Yeah. Wait. Yeah. So let's do that. I don't know why these are living in this file, but amount increase thing. Wait. There we go. Because we already had to do this if statement anyway, right? Okay. So we don't have a solve t. Uh-oh. Okay. And then we need to go back to our post undo reevaluate. Okay, I hope I didn't mess up the versioning there. Okay. So we didn't set the disabled color on these guys yet. And we're not testing whether they're disabled when we step on them. So there's going to be that. But let's set the disabled color on all these guys. Why not? It's going to be just like a slate gray. We'll give it a little bit of tint. Little bit of blue, bluey blue. I don't know, man. Okay. Okay, that's too bright. I really need like an HDR mode for this or something. Still too bright. Oh my God. Bro. All right, whatever. It's unambiguous. Okay, so when we step on these, if they're disabled, we don't want them to light up. So that's in check for victory. Okay. Okay, so we just say, look, if it's disabled, you're not really on an entry. Right, so see our cloak isn't billowing anymore even, because we're just not. But then there, it is, cloak is billowing. There it's not. Any questions about what the hell's going on? I've already decided how the levels will unlock with game progress. Well, no, I mean, we're still making levels. So if you mean which levels happen when, absolutely not. We haven't figured that out. If you mean how does it happen technically, well, that's what I'm building right now. Can you ask a compiler question? If it's a simple one, sure. I don't want to get way off topic right now, but if it's a simple question, then sure. Will you save replays for these intermediary levels? It depends. Oh, do you mean like in the testing system? Probably not, because there's no real thing to test here, at least yet. If we add gameplay to these, we might. But for now, what we will probably do is just, if we load a level and it has a level entry in it, we'll call it a test success, right? Just so that we don't need to load a replay for it. You're watching the code modification demo, and we're wondering if you could also add to the syntax tree before type checking. Currently, the answer to that is no, but we may enable that at some point. It just depends. It depends on, whether it looks like that's something people want to do a lot, and whether it's really that much better to do it before type checking than after. Now keep in mind that if you modify the syntax tree after type checking, it does get re-type checked. Okay, so the types of whatever the things are in the function don't have to stay what they were. At least the things internal to the function. The procedure prototype does have to stay, but the things in the body of the function will change type if they have to when it's resubmitted, right? The only reason to do the type checking first is to give you more information about what you're looking at. Didn't I just make an overload of move toward that overshadows the old one? No, I didn't want to make an overload, so I just I added a value. So instead of making two overloads of this, I just added a default value. And I said, if this is -1, then that means the caller didn't pass it. So we're doing the old version where these two amounts are the same, right? Because I don't, because we have moved toward already for two data types, right? So if I was going to do this on both, now you have 4 overloads, right? And then maybe we add vector 4, and maybe we add vector 2, and you're all of a sudden talking about 8 frickin' over. It's just a pain in the ass, right? So I'm doing it this way. Will the undo be in the final game? Yes. Yes. This game would be very hard without undo. Some might say unplayable. I feel like we could add more style to this light going. I mean, I don't know if it's going to be glowing eventually, but like I feel like we want it to start going down fast, but then tail down longer. Anyway, because you want it to take a while for it to completely extinguish. Okay. Well, I mean, the next thing is to be able to go into levels. Right? Well, we want to be able to go into levels, and we want to display what the level is, which eventually will involve showing a screenshot of the level. But until then, it'll just show the name of the level at the top of the screen or something like that. This brick up here is annoying me. Yeah. Let's, since we've made good progress, let's check in the progress as well. Actually, no, let's not, because we broke the overworld for people. Right? Like if I go to the overworld now, I won't be able to go in anywhere. Okay. So I think when you press X, which is activate, we're going to do activate. Okay. All right. So now we get to decide, this is this check for overworld transition thing. That is no longer a thing. We're going to rename this to use level entry. And we're going to say okay. So we get the active hero. Dot, okay. So, oh, you know what? I realize we might need yet another color for solved and active. Because if you solved a level and you want to go back in it, yeah, I mean, this is first world problems, but they won't be very responsive if you have solved a level. And which means we're going to have to start tracking which levels are solved. And eventually we'll be wanting to save that in the save games. modify level entries when entering level. Okay. Well, we're not doing any of this stuff. Okay. And all the animation is going to be handled by that other routine. Okay. And instead of an automatic teleport, we're going to set the victory condition like check for victory does, so that okay. So start waiting for victory, O.325, right? That's how long the transition goes. And entry dot what's it called? Entry dot level name. Okay. So this is all good. And that's it. Is that in transition? Yeah, start waiting. Okay. Level name. Okay. Okay. Let's just call it transition level name. So before, when we called this waiting for victory, it would just be to go to the next level in whatever the current level set is. Because levels are grouped into sets, right? So now it's a little more complicated. So now where do we actually do that? Advanced level. Okay. If if we have a level name, then we want to go to whatever level set that is. And how do we do that? Switch to this is going to end up being a little bit complicated, because if we're going from the overworld, we might need an extra variable on the door to tell us what to do. We're also, let me write down on the list, don't reset overworld position, like when we go there, if it's already loaded. Okay. So if we have a level name, then So levels are grouped into sets, right? So I could assume that if the level name is not equal to overworld, that this level has to be in the same set as the one that we are in. That seems like it might break a little bit, but I can't think of a reason to be more versatile than that right now. We might want it eventually for some reason, but for now I think it's fine, and then maybe we write a tool that scans to make sure that the things are really in the level set. All right, so if so this is the thing is, you know, we need to handle going from the overworld. Okay, we'll do that. We'll do this now. So if all right. So if we're in the overworld, we do something else. We are switching to another level in this same campaign. We have a level set in the context. Okay. That's bananas. Did I put that there? All right. For set.level names, if the name is transition level name, and if we didn't find anything, then log print update transition failed tprint. Oh no, log print does that. Failed to find a level named in set to transition to. That's a lot of twos. Failed to find a level named transition level name set.name. Okay. And let's say error so that we highlight this in red. Okay, so if we found it, then cs.current level index is it index. Okay, so if found else whatever. If found, oh, that was this. Okay, that's fine. So, boom. All right. That's when we're switching to another level in the same campaign. All right. What if it's not? What if it's if we're in the overworlds, well, the transition level name is the campaign name, and we want to go to the first level in that set. Okay, so we're going to say current level index is 0, and right? Okay. So if we're in the overworld, we go to the first level, but now we have to find a set. We have do switch to campaign. All right. And this should give us an error if we can't find the campaign. Well, I probably messed some things up pretty bad. Use level entry. Did I not pass that parameter? Wait, what? Expression is void. Oh, we're... Oh, we're returning. I could have made it a default false. Seems like bad style. All right. This is not a good error highlight because we're saying expression is void and we're highlighting this, but really it's this. Which is not good. Undeclared identifier free string. Oh. Okay. What's going to happen? I really have no idea. All right, so X. Hey, I went to a level. Is it the right one? Yes. Problem is, now when we say exit to overworlds, we go all the way back out. When we really want to go to the first thing. So let's go. Okay. If we're not in... Okay. So... we're going to say exit to overworld if we're on one of those Nexus screens. Otherwise, we're going to say menu, exit level. Okay. So now we have to go edit our frickin' strings, which we don't even have the program installed to recompile probably. So menu overworld says exit to overworld. We're just going to say exit the level. Calling it a level is weird. Level is really old video game terminology that like implies increasing difficulty or whatever, because it's like what level you're on, and it's not a very good name. Let's say exit. Exit the area. I don't know. Okay, now we need, I don't think I have this program. Wait, didn't I write a frickin' PO file compiler? I don't think I ever did. I should. We should make our own string format, because everybody's internationalization formats are freaking garbage. It's so bad. All right. So we're just going to use this. But I should just write a library that compiles PO files. All right. So this thing, we just use it to do the following things. We go here, and then I just hit Control S, and that does our strings. All right. Wait, did I recompile? I'm not sure. All right. Okay. Yeah, map is like, that's also weird video game terminology, you know. Okay, so if I'm here, we say exit to overworld. If I'm here, we say exit the area. We go back here. Exit to overworld, we go back here. Now, what I want to do is, you know, if we're in one of these areas, so now the problem is if I go, well, we haven't set these up, but like all these old games don't have level nexuses for, so what I just did is going to break. You won't be able to get back to the overworld from these because it'll keep going to level 0. Not everybody is going to have a level nexus. But you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we come to it, because a lot of these will, and I can make placeholders for those now. So, for example, here we're going to say coerce level entry, and what is the mesh name there? Oops. Doing the wrong things. All right. We're going to change the mesh name. Oh, it's just A to B. Okay. We're going to make these not be enabled, but we're going to make this one enabled. Oh, editor. The editor should show the default colors on level entries. Because you want to be able to look at this and see what the default state is. All right. These colors are all jacked because these guys don't have the extra ones. All right. Color disabled is going to be this very dark purpley. All right. And then color solved, I don't know, white, who cares? Well, mostly white, purple. Okay. Okay. What did I just yank? So that's fine. These ones we're not going to deal with yet, I don't think, but everything else we will. So I should be able to go here. My problem is going to be when I go here, oh, we have to set these, obviously, or it won't know. This is heroes 1, that's heroes 2, that's heroes 3. So now the problem is we're expecting this to be like a level nexus, and it's not. So when I hit escape, it's... Oh, actually, we're going to treat this as the nexus, right? So here I get exit to overworld. If I go here, it'll say exit the area, and it'll bring me back here. And then I can get exit to overworld, which is not the worst. That's going to confuse some people if I don't fix it, but it's actually not the absolute worst thing that could happen. Okay. Right, let's actually just do all of these. Fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, select all doors. Oops. And we're going to coerce level entry to all of them. We're going to change all their meshes to B. We're going to set the colors to something that's not that exciting. Right? And these two are gonna be, oh, well, enabled. Right, and then these are gonna be, wait, what did I just do? Enabled, not enabled, okay. Not enabled, not enabled, enabled, not. Okay, so we're fine. Okay, so like I can go here. Oh, we got to set the level names. That's what I forgot. Okay, this is 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is playable. This is wrapping stones. This is cliffs. This is mirror. This is skipping stones. I forget what these are. Oh, yeah, heroes and mirrors. And what's this one? I forget. Oh, river maze, probably. Okay. So now I'm going to need a cheat command that unlocks or activates everybody. Okay, so I can go in here. Uh-oh. Okay, that just took a while to load. Exit to overworlds. Okay. We're processing textures in the debug build. All right. Okay. All right. So I've got a list of definitely some non-trivial things to do. Yeah. Any questions about what the hell is going on? That water is temporary. It's not really done. It's not really what it's going to look like, probably. Let's make that cheat command. I'm going to take F2 off debug audio. I'm going to put that on F7. F2 is going to be unlock all level entries. Wait. Where do these frickin' live? Okay, I guess they just live here. Okay, unlock all level entries. is going to be yeah, we'll do this. That's it. Okay. So now, if I'm here and I F2, there we go. They're all unlocked. And I could say, I could make one called solve level entry. Do this. Entry.solve t target is 1. Okay. So F2 is going to be that, and F3 is going to be solve level entry. Okay. Oh yeah. Also, okay. Uh-oh. That's some bad news. What did I just do? I triggered a compile bug. This is a compiler bug, bro. Wow. That's bad news. Bad news, Space. I don't want to debug a compiler bug right now because we're making so much gameplay progress. Okay. Compiler bug. No, I don't want to derail my gameplay stream for a compiler stream. Okay, so if I, was it F3 to solve this? Wait, F3? F3? It's not doing anything. We should also enable it if we solve it, because not enabled but solved is not a good state. Right, F3 is supposed to solve the level entry. So maybe our display code is not working. Level. Level name. It's not working. So because we got a compiler bug before, I'm suspicious that maybe this command isn't even compiling for some reason. So let's try this. I just want to know. Nope, it's not even. It's not getting detected by the metaprogram, probably because of problems. Let me just try like putting it here or something. But the thing is, if that's not happening, we should get an error from our key map system that it doesn't know the command, but we're not getting any such error. So now I have to frickin' debug the metaprogram. Oh, let's this is what our metaprogram is outputting. So let's look at that. Wait, is that the one we just 12:10 p.m.? Yeah. So I don't know why I'm running from Commander Mini, but whatever. No. Commander Mini. Okay, this is what we're generating. Okay, so solve level entry. We claim to be registering it. So why? It's not a metaprogram bug. F3 solve level entry. Solve level entry. It's the very first line of the procedure. Bro. But F2 works fine. What happens if we swap F2 and F3? I should have not restarted the game for that, but okay, so now F2 is supposed to be solve level entry. That works. Does F3 just not work? F3. Oh, we have an F3. Okay. Yeah. Good eyes, guys. Our key map system doesn't currently report if you accidentally rebind things. I can't always read chat because people are saying stupid, distracting stuff in chat a lot of the time, right? So you've got to forgive me for ignoring chat, but yeah, sometimes it's not good to do. Okay, so I don't feel like the solved color is working. Well, maybe it's not set, first of all. So what? Yeah, it's not set. Okay, I don't know why I didn't set these. Color solved is going to be And we're going to have to make our color solved active, actually, also. Color solved active is going to be version 4. And so many blends. Okay. So we're going to have a solved and a solved active. And the solved dude, why isn't oh, okay, interesting. Okay. Okay, so solve. Okay, I messed things up. Oh, right, the solved transition is real slow. I would say that's too slow. Okay, and we don't want the solved color to actually be glowing brightly. Right. I mean, you know, it's still too slow. But like we would do some particle effects and cool stuff when you come to the level anyway. Look at all these levels that I've solved. Okay. We actually need to be quite a bit faster. The reason this has to be so much faster than this is actually covering a very large intensity gap, whereas the solved color The solved color is like, well, not very different in intensity from the unsolved. So the distance in color space is not that far. All right, so yeah, that's all right. I mean, in reality, it's going to be active because you're standing on it usually. You could get off it while it's doing the solved animation. All right, so this is pretty good. I feel like we can check this in. It's kind of Miller time right now, if I'm being honest. There's still a bunch of work to be done on this. Oh, we added the solved active color. That is off the list. So we need to track the solved levels in some kind of global table. We have to mark when we solve them. We have to mark when we solve entire campaigns so that the overworld will know about that. When we solve a level and then we come back to one of those nexus levels, we have to trigger a thing that changes the state of all those guys. There's going to be some other weird bookkeeping stuff related to that. We did that one. We can go from the overworld to other places. Editor should show default colors on level entries. That's true. Mark levels as solved. The problem with the editor thing, yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. So there's some infrastructural stuff. Is the cloth animation just skeletal animation or vertex animation? It is skeletal animation with a lot of bones. Position guy at correct exit when returning to Nexus. Good point. Position guy at correct exit when returning to Nexus. And also, there's two different cases in which you would return to Nexus. One from the menu and one when you finish the last level in a sequence. And we have to make sure that both of those do the right thing. All right, so I'm going to check this in. I want to keep programming a bit more. So like eventually it's time to take a break, but not yet. So we're going to check this in. Initial level entry implementation. There's a bunch of things to do yet. Oh, let me take these out. See, the reason I was so paranoid about this was because we had this legit compiler bug here. If that hadn't been a compiler bug, then I would have been much more likely to think something like, maybe there's a key map override, but I didn't do that. All right. Let me get an iced tea. Any more questions about what's going on, right? Like on topic questions. On topic questions. Is it true that all paperwork uses the Carmina font? I cannot confirm nor deny that. Do I think I should have a color for levels I've visited but not solved? No. Because there's going to be one more thing. So eventually, we're going to have screenshots of the levels. I don't know if we'll try to do that today, but we'll do it pretty soon. And the screenshots will pop up. But I don't think you should see those if you haven't been to the level yet, right? If you have been to the level, then it'll remind you which one it was. So that'll sort of be the difference there. Will you get a compiler stream to watch me fix that bug? Probably not. It would be cool to see an art related to the level. Yeah, maybe. We would have to decide, like it might just be a little bit bleh to not, because most of the time you go into a level from that screen, it'll be a level that you haven't entered yet. So I don't know. We might want to do something to spice up that experience. I'm not sure. Not sure. Display screenshots blurred if not visited yet. Yeah, maybe. That's just, I feel like that's going to have to be an area that we experiment with because I really don't know. I really don't know. Okay, well, I think I might already have a global hash table for what levels have been solved. But I'm not sure. You know, I might have an integer for what levels have been solved because I was assuming that it would all be more linear than it is now. Let's see. Gamer shirt. Gameplay design question. Do you prefer having all the doors accessible but some are locked, or does physically blocking access to other ones? I don't necessarily care right now. In fact, we might do a little bit of both eventually. But, you know, my goal so far is just to implement the very basic system for this. And then once that's all working, we can start playing games with it. But, you know, right now we're just getting it working. That's all. All right. All right. All right. I didn't go for an iced tea. I went for an aloe drink, so we're going to have a little sugar boost. Okay. Well, let's look at the campaign state. The thing is, we have this campaign state thing, but this is not really... Most of these should not be here now. Whoa! This want transition to other manager probably doesn't exist anymore. That's a very old thing. Yep, old. Old, gone. Gone. Okay. So we really don't have a record of solved levels. And we don't even have an appropriate place to put this because this campaign state struct okay, I'm going to write on the list refactor campaign state. Because none of this stuff, literally none of this stuff should be in here, except maybe current level index. But at that point, yeah. At that point, current level index can just go somewhere else. Literally everything else should go elsewhere. So well, you know, I think I want to do this now rather than make more of a mess first. This is going to be a kind of a big change. Maybe not. It's just, you know, we have an array of these campaigns for each entity manager. All right, let's just start doing it. So we're going to put these kind of variables in a similarly confusing place. We're going to put them on the ocean map. But the thing about the ocean map is it's an entity that lives in each level. Well, yeah. It might be a mistake to put these on the ocean map, but it's better than having them here. So let's do it. I mean, really, I should maybe make a different entity type that's not ocean map. But like we already decided long ago that this is sort of our general thing that happens once per level. So, you know, all these control values for all these kinds of things are like living on this. Okay, so version 19 of Ocean Map has well, I don't know about these timers. I'm a little worried about those. Counter. Let's do the easy things. See, because these are gonna like spam the undo system if we keep changing them, because they change like literally every frame. So I'm not sure what to do. Like I said there, to do a time of thing, that used to not work because of blah, 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 but it maybe works now. You don't really want to be using global timestamps if you don't have to. Dude, I don't know. I don't know. But these will not really spam the undo. Neither will these. Okay. So we're just going to put all these on Ocean Map, and we're going to deal with the fallout. It's going to be a bunch of compile errors. All right. Okay. Question is, does the undo system okay, here's my problem. My problem is we skip Ocean Map. Which is bad. The reason, okay, so the reason we skip ocean map in these things is it's not really something that ever holds data that changes at runtime. But now we're adding data that changes at runtime. And that's really, it's not a good thing to do to the system. So maybe I need to make a new entity type. And I'll just add it to the world if it doesn't exist. Yeah, that's just going to be the thing. So we're going to have a thing called gameplay I don't know what to call it. I was going to say gameplay state, but that's just a very generic name. Let's call it level state. Even though we just said level is a really weird term, this is just for us and not for the player. So all right. Then this won't have any weird interactions with the undo system or anything. So we're going to say get level state. And then all right, Sokoban get level state. Okay. Okay, so we make a level state. Does make add it to the world? Register entity, yes. Okay, so there we go. So we make a level state. Return null. Okay, now we just got to change all this other stuff. Get level state. Okay. Here's a thing that happens all the frickin' over the place, and we're gonna make wrappers for this. Because holy cow, there's gonna be a lot of these. Like, I'm manually setting bits for all this. So we're just gonna say beam color entered, hit beam dot color. Just say beam entered, right? So beam entered takes an entity and a color. I guess we called that capital C color. I don't know. And we're going to say get level state hit the entity manager. Okay. Now, the one that we're really going to need this for is not the entered, but the we know what this beam color does, which frankly may not be something that we keep in the game, but we'll do it. It's part of the cleanup. Okay, 566. Wait, what? Oh, 982. Is it called level state? Yeah. 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 So we're going to say beam used, which does the same thing. It just sets light colors used. All right. Get level state. Beam used guy wait, is it power? It's power, not color. Okay. Right. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to have lots of beam used things. Okay, beam used E, comma, all right. Oh, I hope I didn't delete a return. No. All right. I don't remember if this should be subject or mover, dude. It doesn't really matter because we just want that for the entity manager. Okay. Oh. I gotta make our assert softer later. Time to next rover update is not a member of level state. Really? Oh, right, because we didn't, right. Well, let's change that back for now. Whoops, because we haven't moved that. Turn facts. All right. Unidentified, undeclared identifier subject. Declared identifier beam. Oh no. Right. This is not. Okay. So for the subject, it's really just E. What routine are we even in? Move entity, okay. E. This is can go. Mover. Wait, subject. That's a subject. That's okay. Huh? Oh, it's colors, not powers, right? My search and replace earlier was a little bit too enthusiastic. Okay. So we've still got a few subjects and we've got a CS. Let's get the CS. All right. Subjects. 424. That's a mover. And 3830 is E. Six 24 is mover. 794 is mover. Okay. Who knows what horrible things I just did? All right. How do I even do this? Let's see. Well, that all seemed to work. You know, we're supposed to be drawing things over the scene here if our ever wrapped variables are not set, but that's not enabled right now, so I think it's fine. All right, release build, and we'll run a test to see what major problems we caused. Get campaign state is global, yeah. Why is the FPS so low? Because that level draws a bazillion things and it's a debug build. Oh. I have some junk files in my level sets folder because Emacs leaves junk files. We could try to be robust to that, but I don't think that we should. We might want to check the extension. I don't know. It just tries to load all files right now. Let's increase our playback speed. All right, we're just going to let this go for a while. Now, again, we do expect like 20 or 30 fails. Because we never fixed the fallout from that previous stream, I still have notes of what to do from that stream about working on the, the movement code more. But I wanted to do this first because other people are waiting on this a little bit. But we've almost done enough that other people are not necessarily going to be waiting on it. It's true, Benny Hill could never be too loud. All right. On-topic questions, anyone? On-topic questions. Do 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 do. What's an entity manager and why do you need it? It's just a data structure that holds entities. Why do you need it? Because you might have more than one distinct set of entities comprising a little universe that you interact with. Still confused about what an entity even is. Well, what do you think it is? Look, there's entities. You see entities on the screen. Like what? Those are expected fails. Am I doing this completely by myself? No, no. Did I do the movement rewrite? No, we've done parts of the movement rewrite. But we haven't done the main part that'll make that part of the movement more robust. But we're in a place where we can do that soon. It's just I decided to do this instead, again, because people are waiting on this.
Telling the truth can be bad news.
Telling the truth can be bad news. Telling the truth can be telling the truth can be good news.
So we're also going to get fails for those Nexus levels.
Idea.
Telling the truth
Because I never did the
is a
test
difficult
successfully.
problem.
Telling the truth is a scary. Telling the truth is a.
I think we need more volume.
Bitter herb.
This tunnel.
When you get out of that tunnel,
It's
you've got
it's
bitter
a black
herb.
life ahead. Forget herb. I never heard of a hit that had the word herb in it.
Telling the truth is a dangerous
Dangerous.
Telling the truth can be dangerous.
What? Danger. Telling the truth can be danger. Telling the truth can be dangerous.
business.
Telling the truth can be dangerous business. Why? 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 Telling the truth can be dangerous business because if yourself,
Because
you
if
don't
you
know why.
Huh?
Well, I'm just giving
Why do you render the
ideas.
graphics during the
Telling
test?
the truth
Because we're
can be
testing.
Dangerous business. If you don't know yourself,
And
then you don't know why.
Graphics is one of the most complicated
Dangerous
things.
business.
And one of the places where you could introduce a crash bug.
If you admit that you can play the accordion, no one will hire you in a rock and roll band. But we can.
Uh-oh. 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 No, that just, okay. We were just processing some assets. Yeah, we were compiling some textures there. That's why it froze. Yeah, if you test your game and you don't display the graphics, you basically aren't testing 80% of the game. at all these new levels I made. Well, not these, but... Oh, that's a new level that I made. That's a new level that I made. That's an older level. That's new, that's new. That's new. Alright. "26 levels failed." That's about what we expected. And there's not really anything new. There's not really anything drastic. So we're going to check that in. Okay. Next, we want to remove more items here. Current time and frame index. I'm not sure should be in here. And then these, like these I think maybe should be global. These should probably be on the entity manager. Oh, is Casey going right now? Well, I'm going to finish soon, which means we could all go to Casey's channel. Let's do this one thing and then it'll be break time. So I'm going to move these onto the entity manager. I think this is just going to be a little bit of annoying search and replace, but it won't be scary because like we're not creating new entities or anything like before. In fact, it might be fewer lines of code because you don't have to be getting the campaign state all the time. Okay. So this is to replace cs.time with manager.time, right? We keep getting now and we don't ever use it. So we might not even be using that current time value. All right, so undo. So we do have manager, right? Okay. Okay. So here we're recording the current time. You know what? Screw it. Let's move it. Let's move it. Okay. Get gameplay time. Entity manager dot current time, but we do want to keep that cast. You don't need that. So part of our ulterior motive is to remove all these CS equals get campaign states because we just want to have one global campaign state instead of one for every little thing. All right. Nobody's using that anyway. All right. Well, we're not going to run a full test, but we're going to run some. Actually, before we do that even, we'll play, because that river level that I just played uses lots of like timing, right? So we're going to do that. And then we're going to see. All right, so, whoops, I did the wrong thing. Looks like all the timing is working, people. All right, so, okay, let's run a little bit of a test, but we don't need to run much. That's fine, it's fine. It's fine, okay. Okay, then, so we're getting kind of lean down here. Current level index. Probably could be a global. That's the tweakiest one. Campaign name? Do we even care about that? So this pushed from editor thing. Is that here? Where is it? Oh, it's in. Nope. We definitely were using that, I think, but not in anything that's currently. I want to re-implement that functionality later, so I'm putting that on the list. But we're deleting it for now. Who else sets it? Editor. Okay. We're probably just going to put that on Entity Manager. In fact, you know what? Let's do that. Just so that we don't like totally delete it. Okay. Well, this is all fine. So, yeah, this entity manager is going to be the last thing that we get rid of. This frame index. It's not even being used. Let's just start deleting it. Well, all right. Okay, we're really getting it down. So current level index is well, it's just the level index from the current campaign, from the current level set. It's not meaningful as soon as you even exit out into a nexus. So I think that's just a global variable. I mean, everybody is going to gasp. But I think that's just a global variable. All the modern C++ people and all the Hacker News bros who can't program their way out of a paper bag are going to be like, oh my God, a global variable. What the hell? All right. Now, there is a possibility of me messing this up because, you know, there might be some times when the level index was sort of implicitly reset because it was a member of a campaign state that we switched to. So we need to check that. But I would have thought that we set it to 0 anyway. Okay. Okay, so I'm in the overworld. Oh no, I'm not in the overworld yet. Okay, I'm here. I'm gonna, if we here, right? Exit to over. Oh, this thing, we never made that work. We've got to put that on the list. Overworld portals work. Actually, I think I can just change the name there to Overworld. Oh, it is. Okay, that's just broken. But we never tested it, so that's not new. Okay, so we're here. I'm going to go here. This is level 1. This is level 2. This is level 3. Now, the only thing that's not going to happen now is if I go to the overworld and then come back here, I won't be on level 4. I don't think. Right? But that's fine because the Nexus level is going to control that and it's going to be less linear anyway, right? So this all seems to be working. Oh my God, a global variable did the job. We're loading all these textures. And then if I win this one, I don't think we ever tested this, but it should bring us back to the overworld. Nope. That's probably old as well. Let's see. So we're calling advanced level. That's from the victory code. It's supposed to happen here. Let's see, do switch to campaign. Where does that live? It's in campaign, probably. No? Main. Oh, we don't reset it. Right. Right. We don't reset it here. Okay. I don't think anyone... I think that's old. I'm going to write that down. Do switch to campaign cleanup. All right. So exit to overworld, go here, enter, switch 10, 20, 1. Gonna finish the level. There we go. Much better, much better. Bravo. Okay, so I think it's Miller time, honestly. The bug build's having a rough time on these levels now. I don't know why. Anyway. I think it's Miller time. I think what we do is we raid Casey's channel, and then later this afternoon or evening, I come back and start doing the tracking of which levels have been solved. Which starts with, well, there's a little bit more cleanup on campaign state that needs to happen, but it's the ugliest part. So I want to do it after a break. But basically, you know, this stuff, there's like a one-to-one, well, Entity Manager is stored on the campaign state right now. It's not really what we want. So we're going to want to change, get campaign state and get Entity Manager and all these things. And in fact, maybe we'll remove all calls to get campaign state before we add one back, because campaign state is going to be a global thing. Like it used to be a global thing. Like we used to have the campaign state, and I'm pretty sure we don't use that anymore. Okay. Let's see if Casey's actually up. Well, it doesn't matter if he notices the raid. We're not doing this for the popularity. Oh yeah, he's still going. System bitmap ID. All right. So thanks everybody for coming by. We'll stream again today at some point. I'm going to maybe read a book and go out in the sun for a little bit. Wait, did I check in? I did, right? I did. I did. All right, everybody. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you later.
So I think that's all we really need there.